Would you be upset if Trump was assassinated?
I would not care.
I mean, I wouldn't give a
Do you think our country would be better off if Trump was assassinated?
Sure, yeah.
Like everything he said, I'm on the same page.
What you just heard is not a joke. There are people in this country that if you ask them if they wish Trump was assassinated, they would say no comment. Some would even go as far as to say missed opportunity. Can you believe it? Before we get started with the video, I'd like to ask you guys that if you want to keep a lot of PragerU's content available for free on their YouTube channel, please make sure you visit the link in the description and consider donating to support their content. They're doing some of the greatest stuff out there and getting on the street and asking young people, old people, both in California and you'll see in this video, New York, what they truly feel about things that are going on in this country. I'd say it's a very reliable way to get a beat for what certain groups feel about certain things, so definitely check that out.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and there's been divisive rhetoric on both sides. But the language describing Trump has been particularly over the top. Did it lead to his assassination attempt? It didn't help. In the shadow of that attempt, I'm here to ask the left one simple question.
Not excited for this.
Would you have supported the assassination of Trump?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Do you would support the assassination of Trump?
Look at him smile.
Sorry.
You know good and well what each and every one of these people that is hesitant to answer the question really wants to say. You saw him smirk just then. You saw that smirk. Come on.
Interesting. I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you guys agree?
No comment.
I don't think I should say it on camera.
I think legally we probably shouldn't answer that kind of question.
Yeah, it's like, dude took a shot. Yeah, there was a little bit of like, missed opportunity. Like,
It was a missed opportunity.
Do you think that Trump, at the end of the day, will
Evil.
destroy our democracy?
I mean, not if they shoot his ass again.
I would agree if that happened.
Would you be upset if Trump was assassinated?
I would not care.
I mean, I wouldn't give a
Wow.
Do you think our country would be better off if Trump was assassinated?
Sure, yeah.
Like everything he said, I'm on the same page.
If he was assassinated, would you lose sleep at night?
No. Wouldn't be extremely sad.
If you're asking me, do I want him to suffer in that sense, then yeah, I would not really lose sleep over it because he's an angry, violent white supremacist who's been preaching anger, hate, and violence.
Of course not.
It is so ironic that somebody like him would say Trump is preaching anger, hate, and violence, but then you ask him, would you want Trump to have a suffering way of dying, to be assassinated, shot in the head? They would say, well, yeah, he deserves it. What do you mean? Because that stands in stark opposition to basically everything you claim to stand for by saying the words, oh, Trump is hateful and violent. I don't know how Trump is violent. I can understand them calling him hateful, whatever it is, but has Trump ever thrown a punch at somebody? Unless you call pumping his fist in the air after being shot violent. It's violent. He's harming the air. I don't know, something like that. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't rent space in my head.
No.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't lose sleep over it.
No, I would have gotten a good night's sleep.
I wouldn't have felt any kind of way had it not missed. I mean, I think the fact that he's now playing victim, I think is kind of textbook white supremacy.
I mean,
Oh my gosh. So okay, hold on. All right. You're telling me right now, if you get somebody shooting at you and they remarkably miss, and honestly, I think I'm honest. I mean, he technically missed, but if we're being honest, it was more so that Trump dodged it. He turned his head at the exact right moment and dodged a bullet. Literally. If he did not turn his head, he would not be alive today. So I wouldn't say it was so much that the shooter missed. It's so much so that Trump moved. If he had been hit, somebody explain to me how that is white supremacy. You can't dodge a bullet in this country without it being a hateful action somehow. I don't get it. Would the same apply to Joe Biden? I don't know.
wouldn't we all have supported the assassination of Hitler before World War II?
yeah.
Is there a difference?
It is, I think, a similar concept, yeah.
Is there a difference between wanting to have Hitler assassinated before he committed genocide and Trump?
I know. I look at them as two peas in a pod.
Two peas in a pod.
To me, they're the same.
Look at this guy's outfit.
Different names, different generations.
Do you think he will commit genocide against his opponents?
I think he could. I think it's definitely something that we should worry about. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't take it seriously that that's something.
It's so crazy that when you actually take their words and you apply it to what we're currently existing through in this current world, on January 6th, there were thousands, or at least hundreds, of people that were supporters of Trump that protested peacefully at the Capitol building. Many of them, one of them was shot and killed. Many of them suffered injuries that would later lead to their deaths, like being tear gassed or clonked on the head with batons. These are people, conservatives, Trump supporters, that are dying. And then dozens, hundreds of them separately are still sitting in jail as we speak, awaiting trial, and more have yet to be targeted, but will soon be targeted by the FBI, especially if we don't see any regime change with the new administration or anything like that. So that is literally Joe Biden attacking his political opponents. Not quite genocide, but attacking his political opponents specifically for being political opponents. That is what the Biden-Harris administration has been doing since January of 2021. And we are now, it's August of 2024 now, as I record this. So who knows what's going to happen with the election? Who knows what's going to happen? Who's going to take power January of 2025? But what we can say right now is that everything that they're saying, oh, it's possible Trump could do it, Biden is doing something very similar as we speak. But no, it's Trump who should be the one that is no longer in the race, apparently.
Trump though, I'm looking for your ass.
2 days after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, 11 out of the 18 people I spoke to would have been happy if Donald Trump was assassinated.
This was 2 days after. Isn't that crazy? And the even crazier thing about it is that now here we are almost a month after the assassination attempt, and the federal government is still doing almost everything in its power to obfuscate the information from getting out there. Let's hear from Tom Fitton at Judicial Watch, who has been keeping up the good fight of trying to get information out of the Secret Service and the FBI.
It's officially a cover-up. The Secret Service is refusing to provide any documents to Judicial Watch in response to its multiple FOIA requests for records about the assassination attempt on President Trump. This comes at the same time as the acting head of the agency is up here on Capitol Hill promising full and complete transparency. They just told us that we will get no documents because the disclosure of the documents could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings. The shooter is dead. What are the enforcement proceedings? This is a shameless cover-up. As we note, for the Secret Service to promise transparency to Congress while hiding every possible FOIA record from the American people is yet another indictment of this corrupt and failing agency. The Biden Secret Service has a lot to hide, and Judicial Watch is preparing to go into court to get the answers.
It truly does take many people guiding themselves, coming together to fight the federal government against them holding this information back. We want to know how this was allowed to happen. And we want to know truly why, what was the number in the last video? Like 11 out of 18 people in New York City, so take of that what you will, but 11 out of 18 people said they would have been happy if the assassination took place as intended. That is crazy. I want to give one more huge shout out to PragerU and Judicial Watch for letting me use some of their content in this video. Shout outs to both of them if you want to check them out. Links are in the description for PragerU, how do you support them, how to view their content, as well as that video with Judicial Watch. Aside from all that, I'll catch you next time, free thinkers. Don't forget to spread the virus of intelligence.